Hey, good morning, and happy Friday. What? It has actually appeared. It is here. We have made it through another awesome week. Yes, Friday is here. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Angela McGowan, your professional healthcare advocate and caregiver strategist, author, and publisher. And here is my assistant, Google Assistant, right? Author and publisher of this book, What You Don't Know Could Kill You, How to Get Out of the Hospital Alive. I never know how to this book. I'm going to practice more. Okay, listen. I am the founder of Angie's Pace. That's Patient Advocates Committed to Excellence. Good morning if you'd like to join the broadcast because we have such an interesting topic that we are revisiting again. You can join me live now through StreamYard. That is how you get on. And if you have questions, concerns, or if you just want to join the conversation, welcome. Can you believe it? We are almost at the end of June. We have a few more days, but all this month, it's been about the fellas, right? June is Men's Health Month, and it is Men's Mental Health Month as well. And so we've tried to cover that in great detail, but remember, in the physical standpoint, men, it's all about the numbers. What numbers? Your age. Your age is equal to the number of preventative screenings that are due for you, plus annual checkups required. And that requirement has to do with your genetic makeup, your family tree, siblings, what they might already occurred in them, parents, grandparents. You don't know about the preventative screenings, annual checkups, what's required. You do know your age, but you don't know the full package unless you go to the doctor and have a physical. Please do that. Schedule, go, take the test, go back for the results, and follow through. So as we end the month, as I said, we've talked about the physical and mental issues that do face men. On the mental side, we've noted that it's a silent crisis. I said, due to the manhood creed, I'm not sick. I'm a man. And so as they stand strong in that and refuse to get assistance or say that there's a problem mentally or physically, we are losing our men by the thousands, dare I say the hundreds of thousands, that have been totaling up year after year after year. So let's talk about our topic for today. And that is one that we previously covered, and that's cluster headaches. And let's talk about some of the facts about cluster headaches because it's a pretty big topic. I didn't realize it when we first brought it to you. Okay. These headaches are the worst known headaches to medical science and one of the worst pains of any kind known to medical science. So, regardless of what a person may have or be experiencing, the pain that they're experiencing at that point does not compare to the pain that is experienced in a cluster headache. So let's just reiterate, a cluster headache is a neurological disorder and it reoccurs on one side of the head. Okay, so neurological disorder that reoccurs, and when it reoccurs, it's always on one side of the head, not necessarily on the same side, but it does occur strictly on one side. The next thing you need to know that these headaches occur in men with a 9-to-1 ratio of males to females. Now, this is not, I mean, headache is how we want you to be able to see it, but it's really not a headache and it's really not a migraine. It is worse than that, which is what they are trying to let you know with the descriptions. The next point that we need to know is cluster headaches. They're also known as the beast or suicide headaches because they have documented the number of men that have killed themselves because of the intense, what they feel, non-ending pain. I found our next statement will, in fact, bring out what I'm going to say. According to the Mayo Clinic and other WebMD and other sources, These headaches are short in length, but the pain is so intense. So you imagine, I think they said it's from 15 minutes to 3 hours, a 15-minute headache. I'm sure you've had a headache for 15 minutes before, but the pain's so intense that it would want to make you kill yourself or do other things. Now, what are some of the things that men say that they do when these cluster headaches occur? All right. Man number one said that the pain was so intense when he had a cluster headache, he began to bang his head against the refrigerator to make it stop. Banging your head on a refrigerator was less painful than the pain he was experiencing like that. Number two said, the pain is like someone ripping your eye out of the socket, okay, and stabbing you over and over again with an ice pick. Hey, good morning, Elaine. All right, now that's some pretty intense pain. Man number three said, for 10 years, he went to the doctor to be diagnosed, even though he had frequent ER visits and multiple visits to the neurologist. And that's my point all the time about going to the doctor. If you don't ask the right questions, you are not going to get the answers that you want. If you go there with the mentality of being the doctor's patient instead of being a powerful patient, you're going to just go along with the process and you're going to be processed through. Try this, try that. So what are the right questions? The right question would be, is this medication for life? If it doesn't work within, what's the time frame? I will come back. What's the referral? Be it your specialist, be it your primary care doctor, you need to have a start and end date. I say this all the time. Would you work any job? Have you ever worked any job and not know when the probation period is over, not knowing when you're a full employee? But we go to our doctor not knowing when it's going to be done, not being certain of an end date. Even if the end date is like, okay, we'll try for 2 weeks and it doesn't stop, you come back and you make a new plan. You get a different plan. And now you might want to plan for 4 weeks because, of course, you're working or whatever's going on in your life. But we don't just go to the doctor for a visit as if that's just the one all be all. We absolutely can't do that. So let's talk about some of the common signs and symptoms and cluster characteristics. We already know it's some excruciating pain. We already know that part. Okay. Behind the eye, one side of the face could be your head and neck swelling you could experience. All right. Extreme restlessness. I bet. With that kind of pain, yes. Excessive tearing on that side as well. Redness of your eye is affected on that side. Did you know you could have a nasal problem, stuffy or runny nose because of that? And depending on your natural color, you can begin to pale or have flushing in your face. And there's a drooping eyelid that is affected on that side. Now, their characteristics, they last for several weeks to several months. So this series, even every day for 15 minutes for a week, for months, for several weeks or several months, okay? Another characteristic, most people have what they call episode cluster headaches. That means there's one particular time of the year that it comes through. This is why a lot of people, I tell you about practicing license without practicing medicine without a license. They feel like, oh, it's my hay fever. Oh, it's this time of the year. Yes, these headaches have a tendency to come at a certain time. Oh, I'm stressed. Yes, they may mirror themselves, but the impact and the characteristics and the frequency, and it comes over and over, gives you a glimpse that it is not just a headache. During the what they call a cluster period, they can, like I said, occur every day, 15 minutes to 3 hours. Most of these attacks usually occur at night, between 1 to 2 hours when you're in bed. That means it wakes you up from a sound sleep, and it wakes you up not just groggy, but you are wide awake, because when that pain starts, it goes from 0 to 60. It doesn't build up. Okay, it is already there. More information you need to know. Um, and that is when to go see your doctor versus when to go to the ER. Okay, if you just started with this type of pain, like, and what I'm describing, it's like, I think I have that. Okay, you need to go to the doctor, have a physical, and that kind of thing. And also, is there a history of headaches in your family? That's information so the doctor can see if there's a pattern in what is you are experiencing, what is happening to you, okay? Or is this a sudden change? Now, you do need to go to the ER and seek emergency care if there's an abrupt, severe headache and they term it like a thunderclap, okay? Like, boom, it is so hard, it's like almost knocks you down. If there is a headache with fever, nausea, a stiff neck, vomiting, if you have mental confusion, numbness, okay? If you um, have already previously had a stroke, or you've had some type of meningitis or encephalitis, all right, or even if you had a brain tumor removed, you need to go to the ER immediately, okay? A headache after a head injury, even if it's just a small bump, go anyway, all right? And sudden severe headache, unlike anything you've ever experienced, and worsens as the days go on. Do not wait to go to the doctor's office. Go immediately to the ER. All right. Now, what are the causes? And here's the saddest part. The exact cause of cluster headaches is not known. No one knows. Okay. There's abnormalities, maybe a biological thing. The hypothalamus plays a role because yesterday and the day before, we were talking about the male menopause. Okay, that's called also known as Adam. But remember, unlike the migraine and a tension headache, it is not associated with food, like I ate too much food, or hormone or stress changes. No, those are not the things that trigger this particular headache. But once a cluster period begins, drinking alcohol, like if it's that time, it's that season, drinking alcohol can trigger it and bring it on for that day or for that week. So when the cluster begins, most people will stop drinking and stop smoking. Another thing, now this is why it's so important to go to your doctor and be regular. Another thing that is of importance is that if you have a heart condition and you take nitroglycerin, which is used to treat heart disease, that can trigger into having cluster headaches as well. So those are things that we definitely need to be aware of as far as causes. Now, what are the risk factors? All right. And with age, most people develop cluster headaches between age 20 and age 50. So it comes on very early. The average age is 30, but it's possible at 20. Smoking. Smokers get headache attacks of this nature more frequently than non-smokers. Okay. However, quitting smoking once this cluster session starts does not have any effect on it. So once it's been triggered, you say, I'm not going to smoke until it's gone. No, that's not going to work. All right. During sex, men usually will have this type of headache. I'm not laughing because you know that's usually what people say. Oh, she said she had a headache. Okay, here it goes. And a family history. This is the last risk factor. Having a parent or a sibling who has a cluster headache might increase your risk. Okay, not your aunties. Okay, it didn't say grandparents. It didn't say any of that. But your brother or sister or your parent, that can mean you are at risk for these cluster headaches. And so I want to just go over a little bit what we've done this month. Listen, man, I continue to say this. If you need help and want help, this is your month. Take the opportunity, seize the moment, go to your doctor and get a full physical. And in the mental category we've been talking about, because of depression and suicide, men are undiagnosed, which contributes to the fact they are 4 times more likely to commit suicide. We want our men, your man, the man, a man, if they're your father, your brother, men in your life, okay? Say something about it. It's going to be we're moving toward not just the end of the month, we're also moving to family reunions and different things that'll be going on. Check on the men in your family. And don't be bashful, shy, and say, I care about you. When's the last time you had a physical? Do the family a favor and go get checked. Remember, when it comes to suicide, I tell you these numbers. Here they are, definitely again. 3 men in 60 minutes. So in about 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes from now, there'll be a total of 3 men that have killed themselves. By the end of the day, 72 men. By the end of this week, which actually ends on Saturday, 504. 2016 by June 30th. 24,192 by December 31st. And in a 10-year period, close to 250,000 men. That is just too many men. That is too many men, too many situations for us to just act like it's not of epidemic proportions, because it absolutely is. And I tell you, man, come on, confidence. It's the new 6-pack. And being a confident man, but needing assistance, this is what you do. Go to NSC, the National Safety Council, www.nsc.org, or you can call 1-800-621-7615. And listen, we're talking about those cluster headaches. This is where you go. You will go to the Mayo Clinic. That's mayoclinic.org. Always the CDC is available to you, www.cdc.org/men's health, or you could go to cluster headaches, whichever one. There is a Facebook group for men that are suffering with these, what they call cluster headaches. And the group is actually called Cluster Busters. You can go to www.facebook.com/cluster busters. Okay, absolutely. That is a group that you can belong to help you on your journey. Remember, again, another note mentally, what's going on. This year, at least 43 million people are going to have some type of mental every time. And I thought I brought something. Illness episode. And 9.8 million are going to have serious mental illness that will take them away from their life, from their family, from their children. 10% of our school-age children are dealing with mental illness. And we need to get in there and make an impact in the children, nieces, nephew, grandchildren. No, you can't do it all by yourself, and you can't do it with every child. But the children that are in your circle, that are in your neighborhood, you can do something about that. And if not directly, you can talk to the parent. You can be a committee of one, and you can make a lot of things happen. All right, so on Happy Friday, remember, excellent health care, it's not a privilege. It's your right. And of course, Manhood Creed, I'm not sick, I'm a man. Then man, please get checked. You still have time. I'd love for you to know that my book is available for you for purchase. And you can simply go to my website, angiespaceonline.com, and there's definitely no way for you to get lost to purchase this book. And if you're looking for results, you've been going to the doctor for whatever it is, men, women, and even if it's about your children, your parents, you're not getting the results, schedule a free 20-minute results call with me at the bit.ly link. That's Advocate Angie. Thank you for joining me this week. It's been awesome. Thank you for joining me this month. I hope you've got a lot of impactful information. I'm Angela McGowan, your professional healthcare advocate and your caregiver strategist. I help you navigate through healthcare's sea of red tape and create strategies that are going to allow you to give excellent care to those that you love and care for, as you care for yourself as well. Have an absolute awesome weekend. It's 105 here. So, that's all the awesomeness I can say. I'm indoors to stay. That's right. But I'm leaving you with 2 things, and not 105 degrees is not one of them. What is it? Blessings and joy. Why is that? Because they both belong to you. Have an awesome weekend, a great day, and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday at 5:30 for Say It Sunday. We'll be talking to our caregivers. Blessings, everybody. Bye.